Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark GOLDBRIDGE and this is your Manchester United versus Grimsby Town Carabao Cup preview. And it's a huge game for Manchester United. I will not hear detractors, moaners or those who put this game down. Grimsby Town are undefeated in their first 5 games. We'll talk about them in a moment. And Manchester United haven't had the best start to the season. I think if you're looking for silver linings, the fact that we finished in the bottom half of the table last season means that we go into the Carabao Cup a round early. But I think this is really useful for us because you're playing a game a week. Everybody is. And there is no Europe and we're not going to be in Europe, but there's no Europe anyway. So for us to get a competitive run out, it's like having a bit of a competitive pre-season game. We get to give people more minutes. We get to try things out. And we also get to file the Mainoo leaving Man United story firmly in the bottom drawer. Because let's be clear here, as I said on the 8 o'clock show, this Mainoo Amorim agenda is driven by one party, and that's a media that's trying to destabilise United by getting you on side. And shame on you for falling for it again. Mainoo will start this game. If he plays well in this game, he puts himself right in the shop window for Amorim to play him against Burnley, not to sell him. I think Amorim, like me, is still determining what Mainoo is. People say he's a 10, people say he's an 8, people say he's a 6. I say he's a kid who's got a great career ahead of him, and we've got to figure out what he is. And sometimes that can be a problem when you don't have a specific position. But straight into this team for me, Mainoo and Agate. And it's an opportunity to give people game time that hasn't had it. Leon. I don't see people moaning about Leon not getting game time, or Heaven not getting game time, or Maguire not getting game time, or Xerxes not getting game time. So it's a great opportunity. And we won't. I used to despise the Carabao Cup early rounds years ago when it would be all the peripheral players on huge money that you didn't really want to watch. And it'd be a boring watch. This will be interesting. This will be good to see players that ordinarily Amorim would give them minutes, but because it's the start of the season and we need to be winning games, you can't just chuck people in. So you can now, and you can give them an opportunity. And I think it's going to be really interesting because, as I said, Grimsby Town, all the way down in League 2, but they are 4th and they're 1 point off the top. So they've been undefeated so far this season. 3 wins, 2 draws, 10 goals, 5 against. At Grimsby, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, look, I wouldn't say it's the magic of the cup because that's the FA Cup, but the Carabao Cup for us is a tournament that we have to take seriously. We'd be foolish not to. We're not in Europe, and every game is an opportunity to give minutes to people, but also take it seriously. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't remember Man United playing at Grimsby. Maybe I'm missing an obvious one, but I don't remember that. And I look forward to the watch-along where we get to see a stadium that we don't normally get to see Man United playing in. And confidence is the aim of the game. We're expected to win. Not going to take that for granted. Obviously, we've seen teams, Rochdale a few years ago at Old Trafford, did well against us. So things can go wrong, certainly. But confidence, move the ball about, win the game, take it into Burnley on Saturday. And I think with an eye on the Burnley game, there are a few players I've put in this team that I think need to start against Burnley and maybe play 70 minutes in this. And you've got to look at it from that point of view. Do you agree with my team? Because what I'm doing is, people might say, why are you starting Šeško? Why are you starting Mbeumo? Why are you starting... well, no one else is probably going to start on Saturday. But my point is, maybe Mainoo, my point is, they don't need to play 90 minutes. If you get a good 70 out of Šeško and take him off, then he can start against Burnley on Saturday afternoon. So I'm looking at minutes, I'm looking at sharpness that we've not been able to give people so far this season. So Heaton in goal. If we're not going to start Binder, and we could, Heaton in goal. I don't want to see Onana back. I don't want to see an Onana redemption. I don't need to see Onana against Grimsby. Put Heaton in goal. He's a loyal servant to the club. He's one of the leaders in the dressing room. We know we're going to get a goalkeeper, so just put Heaton in goal or Binder, but I'd go with Heaton. Back 3, Fredriksson. We want to see the development of him. Heaven is a player that's knocking on the first team door, so we definitely want to see him starting. And Harry Maguire, whether it's his last year or not, is a senior pro in the club who we need to keep fresh in case we get injuries and stuff like that. So definitely that 3 for me. Wing backs, exciting to give Leon time. He is a really exciting player, and he, with Mainoo and Xerxes and Sheshko, are four players that I'd be really excited to see in this game. And Leon, I definitely want to see. Give Dorgu a bit of a break. On the right-hand side, I'm sort of conflicted on this. You could go with Ahmad. You could go with Delo. I'm sort of thinking Ahmad, to be honest with you, in hindsight. I've probably made a mistake there. I just think I put Delo there out of sort of necessity. But it could be Ahmad on the right-hand side, and it probably makes more sense to play Ahmad in a game like this. Into the midfield, as I said, Mainoo and Agate makes so much sense. I don't get the issues that people have with Agate. He is not that bad. He's had a massive, massive drop-off in confidence. But in a game like this, playing with Mainoo, they're arguably our most balanced midfield too as well. I mean, on the US tour, they played together, and I think it was the best midfield two we had. I think I think they probably are our best midfield too. That might not say a lot about our midfield. We need to buy a midfielder, but I think they probably are our best midfield too. Casemiro's got no legs, and Bruno's not a number 10, so is not a number 8. So I'd go Mainoo and Agate. I think it's the best we've got. Xerxes needs the minutes. I mean, Xerxes hasn't had a pre-season. He's clearly going to be used as the backup to Sheshko. Ideally, in a game like this, I'd like to see Obi playing, by the way, but hopefully he'll be on the bench. But Xerxes needs the minutes, so he needs to start. Otherwise, he's just going to be a bloody cheerleader who holds the cameras and does stuff on social media, because we need to see Xerxes play. I think it's a big season for him. And Burmo has to start. I'm absolutely non-negotiable on this. He is a fantastic player who we're not talking about enough, because he's sort of, not started great, but he ain't match fit either. Like, you can see the sharpness isn't there. These are the sort of games, like, if he can get a goal, it's just confidence and sharpness. So Mbermo's got to start. I don't want to see him on the bench. And then Sheshko's got to start, of course. I look at the way Arteta's treated Gyökeres. Gyökeres is not match fit, but he started him because he wants to get the goals. And he's got the goals, and he's up and running. Sheshko, look, maybe he should have started against Fulham. Maybe he shouldn't. I think he should. But he's got to start this game. We've got to start integrating him into English football. His work rate and eagerness to get involved is massive. And he has to start this game. And I'm very happy with that team. Get your comments in below, but I'm very happy with that team. With regards to the scoreline, I'm sort of looking at, 3 or 4-0. If Grimsby get a goal, fair play. It's not the end of the world. But I want us to go and score a few goals. And what I want to see with, half an hour, 20 minutes left, if I'm being completely honest, I want to see Cunha come on. I want to see Mount on, maybe Bruno coming on. I want to see, substitutions that can come on and give other people a rest for the weekend. And yeah, let's go and get a good result and get some confidence going into Burnley, which I think Burnley will be difficult. We'll be expected to win. We've got a terrible record at home over the last season, and they will come and make it difficult for us. So I think we need to be buzzing and sharp and ready for that game. If I see Bruno Fernandes start this game, though, I'm not going to lose it. That's too far. But I don't know what you think about this. I don't know whether you agree with me or not. But if Bruno Fernandes starts this game, I'm very perplexed. I'm very, very perplexed. Harry Maguire can be the captain in this game. You don't need to pick Bruno. In fact, the message needs to be, don't pick Bruno. If you were listening to the show on the 8 o'clock show, you'll understand why. Don't pick Bruno for this game. He played badly at the weekend. We've got talk of him going to Saudi next summer. Why should I be comfortable with that, by the way? We should have sold him in June if we're going to play him in the midfield. I don't want to listen to, he's going next year. So you are staying, but you're not staying. You're staying for another year, and then you're going. I mean, you're either here or you're not. I don't like that. So, played bad at the weekend, all this Saudi crap again. And also, he shouldn't be starting. Like, Agate and Mainoo need to start. You don't need Bruno Fernandes against Grimsby Town when other people need minutes. So, as far as I'm concerned, Bruno better not start. But I tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised when that team drops tomorrow night that I see Bruno Fernandes starting. And we've got a big problem if that's the case, because unless he's going to play as number 10, even then, I think Xerxes and Mbeumo should be starting ahead of him. But I don't want to see Bruno starting. You know, we won't see De Ligt starting, Yoro starting, Dorgu starting, Cunha starting. We need to have, you know, a change, I think, in that team. Anyway, get your comments in below. I want to know your score predictions. I want to know your team lineups, what your thoughts are on mine, and also, would you start Bruno in this game, and why? Who would be a captain if not? Get your comments in. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. I love uploading videos at this time as well because it gives a different audience first dibs on the comments. So get in there before the UK wakes up, unless you're in the UK and you're staying up late. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all in a bit. Take care.